What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Also, I talk about it all the time. You guys buy them all the time. My Glance LED. Let me tell you, it's going to change the way you actually handle your day-to-day business, whether it's watching TV, YouTube, movies, video games, whatever you're doing, and you want to stay up to date with sports, NBA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, UFC, it doesn't matter. Or do you just want to stay up to date with what's going on, news, stocks, weather? This is going to be the absolute perfect way to do it. Very small, compact, but bright LED display, updates automatically, scrolls through whatever you want. Absolutely no subscription fees. You buy it, you plug it in, connect it to your internet, you show it what you want it to show you, and it is going to continue to do that all day. Absolutely incredible unit. Honestly, so glad I have one. I'm staring at it right now while I'm recording this video. And we're going to talk a lot about Madden 25. We learned Christian McCaffrey was on the cover. You guys that follow me know Madden 25 was a critical time in my life. I spent a week at EA when Madden 25 released, and, to be fair and transparent, if I wanted to sell out, there was no better time to do it. But if I'd done that, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here and be so negative as some of you like to claim, but would I really be able to transparently sit here and look at what we were sold? So when you look back at this, I believe that's DeMarco Murray. Run free, power, precision, creativity. How many of these echo how you feel about Madden today? The cover athlete used to tell you a lot about the game. It used to tell you the direction they were going with. It used to matter. We actually, for a period, would vote on the cover athlete. They would have a TV show to announce the cover athlete. All of those things have went away. And yes, I understand to some people it's only went away because college football is back. That's going to obviously take the front seat. But at the same time, when you go back and you look, polished physics simulation, all new force impact system. Really the only thing we've heard about Madden 25 has been about the bigger hits. When you go back and you look at hit stick, truck, dive tackle, when you see Lance Briggs, who was known for his hits, the Infinity Engine 2.0, this, I remember sitting at EA and watching it roll out and thinking to myself, wow, if the things that they're selling us are true, this is going to be the game the community wants. But here we are, 10 years later, and we're no better off than we were then. We've had console changes, we've had game engine changes, and a lot of the things that haven't changed is what we're promised as gamers. If all of these things were properly implemented, would they ever need to sell them to you again? Now, this game here actually was marketed to pay homage to John Madden and all the Madden games past. As of late, because of Coach Madden's passing, a lot of people have actually asked for his name to be removed from the game. So we're still in this position where we're kind of using his legacy to create a football game that may or may not simulate football. And look, from a graphics perspective, there's no doubt that computers have came such a long way. But from an actual gameplay perspective, have we seen that massive of a leap? Me personally, I don't think so. I think every year we see things like this. The promise, the commitment, the resolve from EA to make the best game possible. But we can also go back and revisit these trailers, and whether it's from a game that's from 2004, 2014, and I would wager in a couple years, 2024. When you see them talk about the game that changed everything, did it really change everything from a gaming perspective? Or did it change everything because no one else can make a football game with the NFL license and call it simulation football? To me, that's the contribution that Madden has made. EA has become the significance of exclusivity agreements. When you look at this trailer, a lot of players here, some of you may not recognize. And I'm going to be honest, I think in a way, EA banks on that. EA doesn't want you to play this game for 5 or 10 years and understand Steve Smith, Matt Forte, AJ Hawk. They want you instead to think about just the last few years. They don't like revisiting these trailers like I do, because this shows you where so many things have gotten lost along the way. We know, as far as Madden is concerned, animation dependency reigns supreme. When they're selling you Ray Rice here, cutting, juking, you're going to see things like this in the new trailer when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, right? That stop on a dime action. You're going to see him running out of the backfield, catching on a wheel route. It's going to be part of it. But has it remained part of the game? How many of you know that's Wes Welker? I really wonder. Part of me really wonders how many of you actually know what's been sold to us the last 10 years and how well they marketed this. And how many times do you see plays like this happen? The big selling point here with RG3 was that the game was going to automatically do these things. The game was so smart that it was going to be able to keep players on their feet, keep their balance. They were going to run constant checks, and it was going to make the great players great. The average players average, and the bad players somebody you didn't want on the field. That's why they're focusing on J.J. Watt, Eddie Lacy. That's why they're paying such close attention to the hit stick, because you wanted to go low on Eddie Lacy. He was a big bruiser. They wanted to focus on how Ben Roethlisberger was going to have more poise. They wanted to focus on defensive back interactions and how they weren't going to be so canned. But what we learned in that animation was, guess what? They were tied to both the defensive back and the receiver. This was going to show us how smart your blockers were, right? The lead block clears out the first player, and then the running back does the rest. Do you see this consistently with Madden today? Do you feel like Devin Hester could be Devin Hester, Cam Newton could be Cam Newton? Or do they still rely on MUT cards, having inflated attributes to make good players great and great players way beyond elite? To me, that's the problem. When you look at where this game has come from, you realize it's not lived up to any of the expectations they promised. It's not being negative, it's being honest. We all want the best football game, period. I think I might have made a mistake earlier. It might have been Clay Matthews, not A.J. Hawk. A.J. Hawk a lot more prominent today than Clay Matthews, so you kind of forget about one against the other. But at the same time, the reality being, we all want the best football game. The only one that's not providing is EA Sports. And the only way we're going to get the best game is if we're telling EA Sports what we constantly want and reminding them they've constantly sold us all of these things. They just never actually lived up to them. Congratulations there, Patrick Willis, Hall of Fame player. When you played him in Madden, speed was the only thing that mattered. And that is a Madden thing. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. I will be back in the week with more commentary.